Graphing a linear inequality in a plane. Standard form, part 2. I did want to make sure that we kind of went over the whole dividing by a negative and flipping the inequality sign. We briefly talked about it in the last video, but I wanted to make sure that you understood what that actually meant. And so I actually was able to find an example where that actually happened. So in this, we've got our standard form, and we want to go ahead and put it in slope-intercept form. And in order to do so, we're going to need to move this 4x to the other side. And of course, since it's positive, that means we're going to subtract it on both sides. So now we've got negative 3y is less than 9 minus 4x. And now we're going to divide by a negative. If you heard that correctly, divide by a negative sign. So because we did that, that means this inequality sign here needs to flip around. Okay, so our 3's of course cancel here. We've got y. Now it's greater than because we're dividing by that negative 3, and it only happens when you divide. Not when you're subtracting, just divide. So put 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. And then our negative signs here cancel. Now, in order to solve this quickly for us, if you don't have a calculator, then the easiest thing to do would be to take that denominator and have negative 3, 0, and 3. To substitute into our problem. So I'm going to go ahead and work it out here. So negative 3 plus 4 over 3 times negative 3. And what happens is these 3's cancel. We've got this negative, so be careful with that. So 4 times a negative 1 now is negative 4. So negative 3 and negative 4 is negative 7. Y is greater than negative 3 plus 4 over 3 times 0, which of course that ends up being 0. So our middle one is negative 3. And I'll do this other one right underneath here. So we've got y is greater than negative 3 plus 4 over 3 times 3. Again, these 3's cancel, leaving us 4 plus a negative 3. And of course, if you've got that calculator that I recommended, it makes life so much easier. And so y is greater than 1. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and graph that. So again, make Alex do the work. And we've got 0, negative 3. And 3, 1. Connect our dots. And this is going to be a dashed line. So we go ahead and switch it to dash. Remember, it's based on our inequality signs. So now we've got to figure out what side to shade. So I'm going to come back over here. And I'm using this equation to determine that. So I'm going to substitute our 0, 0 in, because that's an easy test point. And of course, 4 over 3 times 0, of course, is 0. So we end up having 0 is greater than negative 3. And that's true. So since that's true, that means we're going to shade over where 0, 0 is. And then you're going to go ahead and check your answer.